So what's your business pricing model, business and pricing model? Have you figured that out, or?
We're working on that right now, and the vision for that at this point in time is to always have more of a horizontal, consumer-oriented version of WebNotes out there, because, again, we feel that just about everyone can benefit from the tool.
Okay.
But where we're really putting our emphasis is in a premium set of tools that you'll start seeing in next few months or so.
Okay.
And these are going to be tools that take the WebNotes experience right now and really build it up and make it into a tool that's really, really essential, we hope, for people while they're doing their work. And what you'll probably see are different tiers of premium services that'll involve things like saving web pages as you annotate them, the ability to annotate PDF files, things like that that'll really make a large difference for enterprise users and for academic users.
Okay.
And we're going to see what kind of feedback we get, and as always, course correct from there.
So are most of your testers now in the academia, or both?
It's a mix. It's a mix. I'd say about a third are just general users who just spend a lot of time online for a lot of different purposes. About a third are students who are doing work specifically to their studies, and another third would be professional users who are journalists or editors or analysts, lawyers, things like that. And it's been a really great mix for us and a good opportunity to hear a lot of diverse feedback on how people are using the tool.
Okay. Are you currently funded? You said that you got the first round of funding, or from whom?
We raised our initial set of funding from private investors.
Okay.
And right now we're going to ride that wave out and kind of see how far we can get on that before we get anything else.
Excellent. And what other ways do you use? Means, how are you figuring out where to take this product? I know that it's kind of early stages. Probably you're more concerned now trying to figure out the business of the pricing model and what is getting the beta product into production. Where would you like to be a year from now? If everything else worked out exactly as you planned, where would you be a year from now, let's say 2 years from now?
Well, what we'd really like to see ourselves is an established part of the workflow for anyone who's doing lots of research online. And it's going to be a challenge for us. We're going to have to continue to listen really carefully to what people are telling us and making some tough decisions as far as which direction we want to take the product, where we're going to expand, where we're consciously not going to expand.
Okay.
Because again, there's just so many directions we can take it. We're really looking for that sweet spot for what's the bare minimum features that'll really make a difference in your day-to-day work. And we want to, branch out into different industries and really find out where that fit is. That's going to be tricky, but we're working hard on that. Excellent.
And what can derail this train?
Well, I mean, in a startup company, a lot of things can go wrong, and our job is to mitigate risk as much as we can, sometimes just cross our fingers. I think for us, the challenge is to make sure we're creating the right product that people are really going to use and pay for ultimately. And so to not get sidetracked by things like social annotation features that might be fun, but are really just not true to our vision of being a tool that people are going to use for research. That's certainly a concern for us. The types of things we're doing from a technology point of view, browsers really are not built for this right now. So just as far as the product development itself goes, we have to make sure that it's robust, it's reliable, that you can annotate any web page you want to, and it's not going to somehow interfere with our systems.
Okay.
And those sorts of things. But I think anyone who's done a startup will learn that it's all about prioritizing things carefully, mitigating risks when you can. So if I could define it as a general problem, I'd say that's really what we're trying to do and maximize our chances of success.
Okay. So the thing is, I was telling somebody about web nodes, and his first question was, is it one node on the web?
No, it's web nodes plural. So some people, we're experimenting with how we're really sending messages about what web nodes is. At its face value, we don't want it to be construed as a sticky note application for the web because it goes much deeper than that. What it's really about is using annotations as a tool to expose a really rich tool set that lets you not only annotate web pages, but to organize that information, to share it with friends and colleagues, and to really make that something that's going to be useful day to day. I mean, I use sticky notes a lot, and there's some value in just putting a sticky note on a web page.
Okay.
But the real value that differentiates web notes from other types of annotation services is the whole organizational and the sharing aspect of it.
Okay, excellent. So, if I could ask you one last question based on your experience so far, what would you like to tell other entrepreneurs? What things to watch out for, what things to do right, what are the lessons you've learned so far?
Well, that's a deep question, but a couple things off the top of my head. One would be not to overplan.
Okay.
I mean, there were periods very early on in our development where we would write a 100-page spec on everything we thought Webnuts was ever going to do.
Uh-huh.
And then a week later, we looked at this and we said, we're going to do 5% of this max.
Yeah.
And this all other stuff, they're great ideas, but it's just, we have 5 people, we have to focus on this.
Okay.
So not over planning and staying extremely relentlessly focused on the bare minimum set of features you need to satisfy your customers. Because at the end of the day, there will always be things that come up. There will always be feature bloat and bugs and things like that. And what we found is that our best strategy for staying on time and on schedule with these things is to keep the feature set as small as possible, budget time for everything unexpected, because just about everything has probably happened to us that we haven't anticipated, and to just make that a guiding philosophy for how you design the products, really building in redundancy and padding into your schedule. So once we started that, we saw a noticeable difference right away, just as far as our ability to rein in the features and get things done when we want to get them done. And then the last thing would just be raw persistence and doing whatever it takes to move something forward, because there are always days where you have to look at something and wonder if it's worth doing or not. But as long as you're confident that at the end of the day you have a product that's really as valuable, if you commit yourself to it and you'll do anything that's necessary to get it out there, that tenacity is really, I think, a prerequisite for getting something out to market.
Thank you, Ryan, for taking the time to talk
Absolutely.
to me. I have personally started using Webnotes for the last couple of days, and I take a look at a lot of beta products, and I have to tell you, it's been a long time since I've looked at a product and said, wow, how did I even do this without this kind of a product? So, and given the reaction that I've seen at workplace and among friends when I've showed them what they've done, they're like, how can I get access to it? I think you guys are onto something, so good luck.